I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still here with your Wednesday morning web forecast. I'm going to be filling in for Skip Thursday and Friday, so this will be my last morning forecast for the week. I'll be updating, though, this web feed here as we go through Thursday and Friday evening. But it looks like a little bit more cloudiness as we go through each day. But I'll tell you what, temperatures already starting to warm up for us here in eastern Carolina. And that has a big deal as far as just how warm our temperatures get. Depending on how much sunshine we see, we are going to be looking at some spots that are going to be held underneath a pretty good cloud deck, at least through mid-afternoon hours, and as a result, probably slightly cooler temperatures along the beaches as compared to inland locations. Slight setback as far as highs are concerned for tomorrow, but as we go into the weekend, our storm track remains off on the west, and as a result, we stay on the warm side, and definitely a lot more sunshine, and I'll explain the reason for that coming up. So here's my Storm Track 12 forecast for you for our Wednesday. A little bit of filtered sunshine, again, especially along the coast. A little bit more cloudiness around through early afternoon. Light variable winds kind of northeasterly along the coastal sections here, and we'll be looking for temps inland into the mid to upper 60s, probably only upper 50s and low 60s along the beaches because of the cloud cover and that northeasterly wind. Warmer overnight tonight. Talking about temps into the mid to upper 40s, and under partly cloudy skies, we will see temperatures a slight setback for tomorrow. Again, a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. Tad bit cooler, a low to mid 60s as opposed to upper 60s. But don't worry, temperatures will warm up rather nicely as we head on into the upcoming weekend. Take a look at our temperature trend this morning out of Morehead City. We bottomed out at 46 degrees right around 2 o'clock this morning, and we've already jumped almost 8-9 degrees from where we started off this morning as we've gone through just the early morning hours here. Wait till you see this afternoon with that warmer air already starting to set place for us here in eastern Carolina. Now, we are tracking some cloudiness, a little disturbance along the western wall of the Gulf Stream, trying to work its way back towards the coast here and along an East Highway 17, a better chance of seeing a little bit more cloudiness as we head on through the morning to the early afternoon hours. But where the big storm system is down off to our south and west along the coastal bend of Texas, starting to get its act together, lifting northbound here. But you'll notice where it's going. Notice where the cloud cover is through Memphis, up through Tennessee and Kentucky. That's where the main storm system is going to go. It's not going to be able to come eastbound here, and a lot of that has to do with what's going on at the jet stream level. You'll notice here's our setup for this morning, up around 35,000 feet. We've got this southwesterly flow, so all the clouds that are being produced here are riding up over us. But you'll also notice our wall, our block out here. This is an upper-level ridge, and this has been kind of a semi-permanent feature here for us as we've gone through the late fall into the early winter here. It's one of the reasons why the cold air hasn't been able to penetrate down into us here in eastern Carolina. So as a result, we haven't worried about, near freezing high temperatures for days, and definitely haven't been worried about wintry precipitation. But that will eventually change. Probably start to see that by the middle of next week. But here's what we're dealing with as we go into this upcoming weekend. Because of this upper level ridge, it's forcing this storm to lift over it. So, yeah, the ridge gets slightly beaten back here for Thursday and Friday. But it will quickly flex back as this short wave and upper level cutoff low lift around the bridge, basically being forced north of it. And as we go into Friday, with the storm system going, again, from Texas on up into the Ohio Valley, we will drag a cold front through here, but very weak in form, not allowed to get a whole lot of upper level support with it as it's remaining and lifting on into Ohio. So as a result, just maybe a spotty shower or sprinkle for us here in eastern Carolina. Then notice as we go on into the weekend here, the upper level ridge basically sets up right along the east coast of the United States. The warmth actually comes in from the tropics from the southwest, or southeast, excuse me. So as a result, we've got the southwesterly flow with the upper levels of the atmosphere, ridge axis just to us or just slightly off towards our west. So we see lots of sunshine coming our way for Saturday and Sunday. As we head into early next week, though, you will start to see the cold air amassing now. We have recharged the cold in western Canada, and that is going to make a charge southbound the first part of next week and then spread out eastbound the end of next week going into the following week. So enjoy the near record-setting high temperatures that we may be looking at as we head on into this upcoming weekend, because next weekend will be drastically different than this coming weekend. Here's what Future Track does show. High pressure wedging down over the Ohio Valley for today, giving us light northeasterly winds. So that's why the inland spots will see more cloud-free skies than the coastal sections, where although, again, we will see some of the high mid-level clouds around. Now, as we head into tomorrow, the storm system lifts up through the central plains, and we're going to be tracking a warm front that will eventually lift over our area Friday afternoon and evening. That'll get us into the warm sector. But you'll notice where the front stays. It pretty much stays off towards our west. Doesn't really come eastbound here. So as a result, we look for temperatures remain on the warm side. We don't get that charge of the cold air behind the front. Eventually, by Wednesday, maybe even as early as Tuesday, that front that's out in the Ohio Valley becomes to the east here, and that'll usher in the colder air. But what you are looking at is the golden ice remaining on the forecast as we head on in through this weekend as that upper level ridge comes in off of the Atlantic. So plan on doing some kind of activity outdoors. It should be a nice weekend for it. And again, things start to go downhill as we head into the middle to the end of next week. Have yourself a good Wednesday. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.